Don't worry about how or where to begin. As long as you keep moving, your success will be far from where you started. Kevin Kelly, yes, each and every day, 10 to 15 minutes, it will put you down the road further and further to your charting mastery. And once you master the charts, you'll make up for all the time you ever spent. And yes, you can do this. Let's jump into these charts. We see stocks are swinging up. I told you to watch in case they swung down. We might go short. They didn't. They both went up, both the S&P and NASDAQ 100. That is the S&P 500. All those big stocks, national, international companies, they swung up strong, 1.54%. And the NASDAQ, the tech stocks, they swung up the same amount, 1.54%. Of course, different dollar amounts. How did we end the week? Well, we hit right there at average volume. We look at where we were last week. The high, 646.19. The high this week, 646.50. Can you believe it? It swung up just a little bit higher at the end of the week. Popped up, looks like that came probably in the morning. Yes. And then the afternoon rolled back about 10 cents. So, boom, look at it. It was tracking down the entire week. And then on Friday, recovered to a higher high. I guess, my friends, I was telling you, I was just looking, waiting to pull the trigger, but told you I couldn't do it. And then what happened? Things rolled back over, going up. However, the numbers, as we look at them, are still bearish. Again, it took it a while. It did ram up with all that volume, and the volume, look at it, on the weekly hit average on the 2-day. And that is Thursday, Friday, hit average. It's a doji sitting right there on the weekly trend line, still up. We'll see as we roll into the next week. I mean, again, we saw it weakening, but it turned from a doji, green spinning top, to an up candle. Beautiful. Well, I guess it's technically a spinning top there. If we zoom in on that, you can see there's a little bit of down movement there at the bottom. That's the first that we've seen since last, well, it's not the first we've seen. We saw it 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Then we have to go all the way back to the week beginning 23rd of June. This is where we at first thought things were going to go down, and then they popped up again. Then this week, presto changeo. Again, we're still riding that up wave. Hasn't moved yet, but I'm telling you, I see some weakness out there. Maybe it'll just keep going. We are heading into the fall-winter trading zone. I used to say in years past, in the summertime, we always lamented the way the stock market looked in the summertime with the summertime trading zone, low volume, things sort of moving back and forth, not a lot of push either way. It could be up today, down tomorrow, up today, then down 2 days. Back and forth summer doldrums. Well, we've seen it moving up in the spring all the way through here now into summer, going into September. We'll keep an eye on things. Look at Bitcoin. It ended the week. It is weaker, as we see with the doji here as we ended the week, with all that volume open lower than the prior close. What that red volume means, we hit average volume on the 2-day below the weekly trend line. We saw today pounding up, but it didn't move us above the prior trend line. So I'm seeing, as far as the charts themselves go, more weakness on the NASDAQ 100 as we move into this next week. We are looking at our directional probability. It's not much more than a coin toss on the NASDAQ, but we will keep an eye on things. Backtest accuracy, not that much to write home about. Did not result in the kind of down move that it could have, triggering us going short. So, of course, we didn't, but we are seeing some weakness here with all that volume and a doji. Again, those of you who studied the volume as we teach it, you know what that means and what it can portend. So we shall watch with bated breath as the new week starts. What about 20-year U.S. government bonds? Well, they were up 0.74%. We saw them up on what? Tuesday and Wednesday, then down Thursday, then popping up even higher on Friday. Then they had the, day 2 and day 3 of this week. Really popped up in the morning, then pulled back a little bit. Still below the weekly trend line. Don't really have the ability to draw much of another trend line. Remember, last week you had a doji, a green doji. This week a red doji. Average volume. Lots of volume with this latest doji on the 2-day chart. Everything is still staying below the weekly trend line as we see. Overall, what's happening? We're getting a sideways track that since Wednesday the 6th of August has been trending down. You can see that the highs are lower as we trend down. And again, we are just not breaking whatever that little line is we could draw there. So we'll keep an eye on things. The numbers tell us that we could be going long on TLT, and I'm just not seeing it yet, friends. Again, some of this is the summer doldrums. We're not getting any kind of robust help from running the numbers. And again, as I tell you, I run them independently each day. We're not stacking them up on performance day after day. We're running them independently, and I'm just giving you the raw data as we get it. But I see a lot of problems with TLT going up. Let's look at where we are with gold. Gold bounding up today, 1.07%. A little more than a coin toss for directional probability in the long position. Again, gold still tracking pretty much sideways into the week with a doji. We see a green candle. That is not any kind of trend line to be able to take anything off of. We did see lots of ranging in the morning, and then in the afternoon, a green up candle. Decent volume in the morning, not so much in the afternoon. We look at the 2-day. It's not hit average volume since back on Monday, the 11th of August. And, of course, the last 2 weeks, we've not hit average volume. Gold is waiting for some catalyst to move it one way or the other, so we're staying away right now. Boy, Bitcoin bounding up 4.03%. We can see where it punched up in the morning, a little bit about the same in the afternoon. Nice green up candle. Just sitting there a little bit above a pretty much horizontal trend line like gold. Bitcoin just sort of sliding along. Ended the week with what? A little red down candle. Looks like it's got a wee bit of on the top of a wick. And again, I'm being careful to move to the left here so that the little dashes on this line don't confuse you. But if you look to the right, the red candle, the latest one, little wick on top, big wick on the bottom, you can see where it's pushed through the weekly trend line. So we'll continue to keep an eye on Bitcoin. This is where we are, my friends, at the end of the week. It's going to be interesting to see how this week starts next. Are the markets going to bound up? Have they just sort of blown the fuse here on Friday and that's it? And they're going to capitulate and move down? Let's just wait, watch, and see. Keep your powder dry. We'll see what offers itself as an opportunity this next week. If you don't have my book and you'd like to have it, 3-Wave Trading Advantage, you can get it for free. Well, not for free. Once you become a paid Patreon member, it's one of your bonuses along with the 3-part series, Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way. So appreciate you being with us. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth.